Well, hello, lovely humans, and welcome to my second channel. Guys, I am so excited. I have been wanting to do this for such a long time, and it's finally here. I just need to move some stuff out of the way. And so I figured, let's do a little mini hair tutorial along with some chatty get ready with me stuff. So y'all have asked a bunch of questions over on my main channel, which is my wedding planning channel, on why I got started, how I got started, what makes me want to do wedding planning, those kinds of things. So I thought, well, let's do some hair and let's talk about it. I've been putting this off for long enough, we're just gonna do it. And if the angle is weird, then it's weird. So today I'm actually going to be doing like a super big, overly curly hairstyle, and this is something that people have requested a bunch of times that cool, that I do some sort of tutorial on. So this is hopefully gonna be like a mishmash of like chatty, get ready with me, and then I'll give you some hair tips along the way. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. So right now I am working with like day 3 hair. Ooh, yep, it's kind of embarrassing to say that out loud, but it's true. I don't wash my hair every day. In fact, I only wash it a handful of times a week because I feel like, 1, it's better for my hair, and 2, I get way better volume. I have so much hair. Like I have enough hair to probably like clothe a family of 5, if that's a thing. But the problem for me is that my roots never really get a whole lot of lift, so I have to infuse a bunch of product up here to be able to even get any sort of volume on top. And this is one of my go-to hair looks that I've realized actually goes really well for me. I'm gonna go ahead and separate my hair into sections, and then we'll jump right on in. This is a look. Because I've had it in a bun for a few days, it's almost like dread-like in texture. So we're gonna brush it out and hope that the results turn out the way that I want them to. Using my 1-inch curling iron, I actually prefer to use a curling iron instead of a curling one because I feel like this gives me a lot more control. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking little sections. The key to this hairstyle is getting as many little sections as possible in order to maintain like the big curly effect that I really want in the end. And I'm actually, this is probably a no-no, it's probably gonna fry my hair, but it gets me the results I want, so I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna take my hairspray, and this is Big Sexy Hair Spray and Play. And I just give this a light mist in order to help hold the curl as much as possible. My curling wand, I am going to just wrap it around the barrel, keeping my hair as flat as possible and not twisting it. So think ribbon, not ropes, because then it just helps the curl to form better. And I don't leave it on for too long because I don't necessarily need like ringlets, and sometimes I'll even pull it out just a little. We're not going for Shirley Temple here, we're going for like Tori Kelly, Sarah Jessica Parker instead. Also, I leave a little bit of the ends out because I feel like it gives it a less structured look, which is exactly what I'm going for. One of the biggest questions I get asked all the time is how did I get started in wedding planning? And I actually got started because of planning my own wedding. It was one of the most stressful but most fun times I've ever had in my life. We had like no money to work with, and it worked out really well for us. And after our wedding was over, I was like, dude, how am I gonna live the rest of my life without doing that again? That was insanely fun. So I went to my husband and I was like, babe, I need to do this. I need to figure this out, because this was like the perfect convergence of all of my favorite things. I'd worked in administration, I'd been a receptionist for longer than I care to admit. I like paperwork, I like organizing that kind of stuff. I also really like making beautiful things on a budget. It's like, it's a high for me. And so doing it for my wedding was like, well, this makes perfect sense. I mean, like, yeah, I'm gonna make pretty things, but I don't have any money, so let's get this figured out. So I got a wild hair, went to my husband, and he said, okay, like, let's do it. And within 6 weeks, I booked my first client. Looking back is insane. I am so honored that first couple took a risk on someone like me. And honestly, I feel like wedding planning fits my personality really well. I don't know if any of you know what the Enneagram is, but it's like a personality test, but like extra. I probably won't even explain it well, so I'm not even gonna try. If you haven't figured out what Enneagram number you are, it's really fascinating. You just learn so much about yourself and why you operate the way that you do, and it's been really beneficial for me and my husband, and like me and my mom, and how we relate to each other. It's just been such a great learning experience for me. So I'm an Enneagram 3, which, if I had to pick someone from the public eye who's also that number. I'm pretty sure Chip Gaines is probably a 3, if that, you know, gives you any picture of what I'm like in real life. Oh, and one thing I'm doing is I'm curling away from my face on this side and curling towards my face on this side. And I'm gonna do that consistently across my entire scalp because I find that that just works better and mimics my natural curl better, and my hair will hold the curl pattern better. Just repeating that pattern with tiny little sections of hair all the way around my scalp. I don't know why I do this after I spray hairspray, but I do it every time. Just like shake it out. Maybe it'll dry faster. I don't know. Maybe it just infuses more volume, or maybe I just make my hair more frizzy and then, you know, I'm just actually causing more problems for myself. But another question that I get asked a lot is, what is my favorite part about wedding planning? And it's really, really hard to pick just one part, but if I did, I would have to say I love helping people save money and still make beautiful things. I don't like how the wedding industry says that you have to spend $100,000 to get your dream day. I disagree. I don't think you need to. I think with a little bit of elbow grease and a lot of creativity, you can actually make something totally beautiful out of pennies. And that is one of the biggest motivating factors for me, is even if a couple comes to me with a larger budget, I still am like, well, yeah, but let's see if we can save money for you, because you're not just planning a giant party, but you're about to start the rest of your lives together. So you're gonna need this money for a down payment on a house, for a new car, for groceries. When you get back from your honeymoon and reality hits and you're like, oh my gosh, we need to eat more than top ramen because that is not sustaining for us, and we care about our sodium intake. And then my favorite part about a wedding day is watching a couple just truly enjoy themselves with what feels like without a care in the world. And they know that someone's gonna manage every single detail for them and they don't need to worry about it. I stinking love that. That is like, it's like a high for me. Again, keeping the hair as flat as possible and trying my best not to twist it, because that will give me like a completely different curl. And we want as much of the hair basically to be touching the surface area of the barrel of the curling iron. So if it's twisted, you've got sections of hair that are like tucked up in the center of the twist, or in the center of the rope, so to speak, and then it's not getting access to the heat of the curling iron, which means it's not gonna be curl as well, which means it's not gonna hold as well, which means you're not gonna get the look that you want. Let's see if I can get nice and close up on this one. So, raising the tongue of the curling barrel, I'm going to flatten my hair out, and then I actually like just kind of keep flattening it and do my best not to twist it the whole way down, and then I will put the tongue back down to help hold it in place. Again, this is one of the reasons that I actually really prefer a curling iron instead of a curling wand, because, well, one, I burn my fingers all the time on a curling wand. Like, maybe it's just because I'm super uncoordinated. That's funny for a coordinator to not be coordinated. But I feel like it just gives me better control over what my hair does. There's a lot of split ends and a lot of flyaways with the tongue, or like the clamp on the curling iron. It holds all of those extra little bits in place. So again, getting this as close to my scalp as possible. That's something I haven't mentioned yet. Gonna continue to wrap all the way around. Like, sometimes I find that I've started too far down the curling barrel, or like the barrel of the curling iron, so I'll actually loosen the curl, eke it on up to give myself, again, more surface area to work with. Oh, wait, no. Another question I get asked all the time is, why did I start a wedding planning YouTube channel? And I don't know, I feel like the answer to that's pretty straightforward for me. Like, I genuinely just really want to help people. I really wanted to help couples to better understand the industry. I really wanted to be like a online wedding planner of sorts, but I knew there was only so many people that I could help in one day. So I thought, well, let's just put some stuff together and let's throw it on the internet and see how the internet responds. And the internet responded really, really nicely. I was really, I don't know, I found myself inspired by budget planning, and I found myself really frustrated when couples felt like they had to spend so much money to be able to achieve their dream wedding day. And I was like, nah, that's not, no, you don't need to. You don't need to do that. You can save so much more money. Like when your car isn't working. If you're anything like me and you're not mechanically inclined, you would go to a mechanic, right? And you'd ask for their advice on what to do with what's going on with your car, or you would trust them to take care of it for you. Or if you're also like me and you're cheap, or you just don't have money, you would turn to YouTube to have someone explain it for you. So that's basically why I started doing my wedding planning channel, is because I really wanted to help. And secondly, I didn't see a whole lot of people doing this sort of thing. I saw a lot of vloggers like talking about their wedding planning experience, but not a whole lot of wedding planners helping people plan. I had actually wanted to do a wedding planning channel. Well, for like just a vlog channel in general, but more specifically a wedding planning channel for years. I have owned the camera that I'm filming on right now for about 1.5 years before I even launched my channel. I was like, this is so great. I'm totally would love to do this. This would be so fun. I don't know of anybody doing this. Like, I want to do it. I want to do it. And then I just didn't. Because it's really hard to put yourself out there. It's really hard to be vulnerable. And I'm still really new at this. Like, I still am learning things at every single event. So it just felt like, why would people listen to me when I'm still so new? So then I kind of took on the perspective of, well, maybe I could just make it a space for my clients to help them out, especially those who only hire us for like month of coordination. So they could get planning help along the way, and then it would make all of our lives easier by the time we got to their wedding day. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, let's go out about it from that perspective. What I did not anticipate was the response that I would be getting and the global response, basically. Now, I did not realize that there would be people in Germany, in Finland, in the UK, just everywhere watching these videos. So that's definitely been a learning curve for me. Oh my gosh, wait, like what I'm saying doesn't apply to everybody, so I have to be a lot more careful about what I'm sharing and how I'm sharing it. So I started it because I really wanted to help people, and I really wanted to help my clients specifically to be better prepared for their wedding day. And it's just taken off from there, which has been such a fun experience to watch and also really daunting. This is where it gets good. The next question, if I did it all over again, what would I do differently? Well, that's a tough one. I definitely like to live in the eating my hair realm. I definitely like to live in the land of like, don't have regrets because you always learn from something. But if I would say like, what are some of the mistakes that I want, budding planners to learn from? I would say that I would have started to say no to things more quickly. In the very beginning, I said yes to literally anything my clients threw my way. I want to learn, I want to get this experience, and I want to do everything that you're asking me to do because that's what I thought a wedding planner should do. And it wasn't until a couple of events in that I realized like that's not creating a healthy work environment, and that's not setting good boundaries for myself or for the clients. And so learning to say no, I think, was probably one of the most formidable parts of this business for me, because I'm such a people pleaser that I figured always saying yes would be a good idea. So if I went back and did it all over again, I'd probably do things the same exact way, because I learned things the way I should be learning them, and that's by firsthand experience. But if someone else is about to launch into the great wedding planning unknown, I would say learn to say no more quickly and define your boundaries pretty early on, otherwise you're gonna be real tired responding to emails at 1 o'clock in the morning, which I did for a very long time, and it just wasn't a great place to be. I wasn't the wife I wanted to be, or the mom I wanted to be, or anything like that. So learn to say no more quickly. In Southern California, winter is coming when something called the Santa Ana winds starts to kick in. And y'all, they are here. Although don't worry, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be in the 80s again this weekend. But the Santa Ana winds are like, it's like these wind gusts that come in. I don't know where they come from. I'm not gonna pretend like I know anything about weather. I just know that here we get Santa Ana winds and everything gets ridiculously dry. And it's also super loud. So I'm hoping you're not hearing a whole lot of wind in the background, but like things are happening outside. Final section of hair, leaving again about 1.5 to 2 inches of the ends of the hair out to create a more loose structuring to the hair. Just gonna hold it there for a few seconds and wiggle it on out. Actually, don't pull the top sections as much because those are the curls that I want to stay more defined. Wow, look at that. It's like a little arch. That's fun. I hope it stays like that all day. Another hack slash trick that I like to do with my hair is sometimes when I'm in sections that are a little harder to do the full wraparound, I will actually just clamp down on the first section of hair and wrap the hair around the outside of the tong, and then loosen the tong a little bit, scoot on up, and then roll back down. Scoot on up, and then roll back down, and continuing to wrap the ends of the hair around the entirety of the curling iron. But I really do feel like it focuses the heat and the curl structure towards the scalp or towards the root of the hair and less towards the ends, because again, like I said, with so much hair, getting volume for me is oftentimes problematic. So every once in a while, if it's hard to get to, or if I really want to focus on the roots, I will do that instead. And then the last question that I've been getting asked recently, mostly by, friends who are curious for why I would choose to start a second channel, because even one channel is a lot of work, but that's okay because I freaking love it, is like, why would you start a second channel? And basically my answer is pretty simple. I love to create. I love making things. I love the excuse to come up with projects or to focus on the really beautiful things in life. And I think that YouTube is such a great platform for that. It really pushes me to be creative and come up with new things to keep me going in life. And I think that that is probably one of the most rewarding parts about doing a YouTube channel. Creating DIYs and doing hairstyles, even though I have no idea what I'm doing. But that's okay. Something I've always wanted to do. I'm just gonna do it. Last little section. So, what do I want this channel to be? I want my hair to be out of my face, first of all. I want this channel to be more tidbits of my life. I love lifestyle content. I love crafts. I love interior design. I love mom stuff. And I think this is such a great resource for that. And I really enjoy the creative process. And that's something that I really want to do more of. Why not? Why not make more work for myself? I mean, who wouldn't want to follow someone who looks like this at the end of a hair tutorial, right? Okay, going back in with my hairspray, I'm just going to spray all over, and I actually like to lift my hair up a little bit as I'm doing it to make sure it's getting in between the layers. And so there's actually like a pause in this tutorial because I want to let my skills with the English language come back to me first, and also let my hair curl, and also let my curls cool because I think it takes anywhere from like 15 to 20 minutes for curls to actually cool and set. So I don't want to mess with it too much beforehand. I'm gonna let this cool just a wee bit. I'll see you guys just back here in a little bit. So as I'm sitting down, my curls have cooled. I am going to apply a little bit of this Kevin Murphy Bedroom Hair Flexible Texturizing Hairspray. That's a mouthful. I discovered this entire chunk that I completely forgot to do. I don't even know how that happened. I'm gonna blame it on the fact that I was talking while doing my hair, but let's be honest, like this happens to me all the time, so this is not like a rarity. If this happens to you, please comment down below and let me know that I'm not the only person that completely forgets like a generous chunk of hair when curling. I just think that everyone else who does tutorials must just edit out this stuff. And I just would like to think that everyone else has these sort of moments, and this makes me more human. Just giant chunk of hair. Because I'm not made of time and I have other things to go do, like, I don't know, do some dishes or maybe brush my teeth because it's already 12:38 in the afternoon and I've yet to brush my teeth today. But that is the life of a stay-at-home mom/vlogger because y'all can't smell my breath and my 18-month-old is not gonna judge me. But now that I've admitted that out loud, some people might. So I'm just gonna use my fingers because I don't want to put a brush through this because we want, again, to maintain as much curl as possible. And I am just going to go nuts. Really separating these curls to give myself as much volume as possible. I don't want ringlets. We want to make it look like this is effortless even though it's taken me 30 minutes to do. Sometimes I will just like finger comb. Again, not pulling too much, but really just working to separate the curl. That is one downside of curling your hair all in the same direction, is that they're all gonna wanna clump together and form some sort of mega curl. And it doesn't help that the static electricity is like super intense today. And now I'm gonna do the craziest part. I'm actually gonna flip my head upside down and really kind of work it around. You ready for this? You ready for this? This is how professionals do it. Oh, mega curl. Mega curl. Nope. Not today! Because we are seriously combating some intense static electricity in the air today, I'm gonna go in with some hair serum that I have. It's a really old bottle. There's like nothing left in it. This is Bedhead's Control Freak. Spreading that evenly in my palms, I am just going to gently rake it through. I don't want to pull the curls at this point. I just want to handle some of the extra bits that we really don't want hanging out. Make sure to get underneath and just a touch on top. I don't want to put too much product on the top of my head because then it'll weigh it down. And like I said, me getting volume is like this weird, obsessive life goal of mine. I always want root volume. Don't always get it, but I always want it. So there you have it, folks. My huge, really big, crazy hair. I don't know why I like this. I don't know why I like doing it, but I do it all the time and it's such an easy go-to hair look for me. I think using a smaller barrel curling iron really does help. You can use a curling wand if that's something that you prefer or something you have on hand. You don't need to go out and buy something new. So thanks for getting vlog ready with me. I know this is not my usual content. I know this is something different, but hopefully you guys will enjoy seeing this kind of stuff on my second channel. And if you haven't seen my first channel, I'm gonna go ahead and link that in the description box below, where you can check out all of my tips and tricks for the modern day bride. And while you're at it, while you're here, subscribe. Like this video if you liked this video, and I look forward to putting out new lifestyle content for you guys because I just simply love creating, and I hope you guys enjoy the journey along with me. Do I use the same sign off for this channel like I did on the other channel? I mean, why not? It's my channel, I can do whatever I want. Until next time, bye guys!